and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van. God bless you.
The Nebraska Lottery presents one beautiful, crazy scratch ticket and promotion. It's the $5 Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket. $1,000 top prize. On to Nashville, a private concert with Luke at the Ryman Auditorium, and a chance at $5,000. The Living Lucky with Luke Combs will hit Hurricane. Details at NELottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
Very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the high-quality roofing solution. What's a new repair project? Their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Gana Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gana Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gana Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GanaTrucking.com. Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell Body Shaping. It's starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, training, and nutrition in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th in Yankee Hill.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox. KFXL was sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorm possibility today with a much cooler day on the way. We'll top out at 75. Northeast winds of around 10 to 15. Partly cloudy tonight, cool night, with the low dropping down to 54. Back into the 70s for highs tomorrow with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is the greatest thing about sports. Play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The July 5th edition of the Ticket Water Cooler. I'm Jake Bachman, Nick Sanders, right now in for Rico, as Rico is getting some stuff done in the back office. So thank you for joining us, and we got a nice show lined up for you. And Nick, usually you're here for the crossover. Maybe you'll join us again for the crossover. I don't know. Or maybe you'll still be here.
That is the plan. No, I think Rico should probably be back by the start of the second segment. So yeah, it'll be about 15 minutes on, and then 15 minutes off, and then another 15 minutes on for the next an hour, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
We're all good.
Little programming note as well. We're going to throw to National tonight from 4 to 8. So we'll have National Radio, and then as well as from 10 to 2 tomorrow. So
8 to 2.
8 to 2, excuse me. So just to be aware of that. Also, I wanted to ask you, Nick, July 4th. How did it go for you? I mean, were you in town? It was a lot.
So,
weather was a doozy there.
So I wasn't in town. So Monday, I had to spend some time. I did spend time a little bit in Lincoln. Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday we went to Seward, Nebraska, which 4th of July city in the state
That's
of
right,
Nebraska.
yeah.
That's what they how they trademark it, I should say. And there's cornhole tournaments. There's a tons of stuff going on, craft shows, which all the women in my family enjoy going to. My girlfriend as well. So like they all go to the craft shows while we all go to this water fight that starts at 9 a.m.
Nice.
that features basically all the volunteer fire departments basically on a water fight. So it's kind of crazy. It starts at 9 a.m., goes until the end of the day. So then after lunch yesterday, hanging out in Seward, I'll wrap a little bit. I rolled up to the place where he was at in Seward, Nebraska yesterday, and so after lunch, we went to Omaha, spent some time with my girlfriend's family, and then drove back home late last night. So now it's like the home stretch though. I got home last night at probably about 11:30 or midnight, and I was like, all right, now this is like starting tomorrow and focusing on the next couple of months. There's gonna be a lot of exciting things. Obviously, Husker football, Husker volleyball, but then like for us moving into our new station, and like there's a lot of things that are quickly approaching. And it's going to be a quick couple of months here, especially once Husker football season ramps up.
Yeah, this season is going to be fun. It's kind of interesting to kind of think about as we are approaching it. Again, it's another year. I think we've had too many of these, and kind of talking at the end of the captain there. If you joined us, it was kind of talking about the best linebackers of all time. Then we kind of got into the discussion. Well, there's really been too many. I guess guys that would be in that discussion in the last 10 years, and that goes for a lot of the positions. And I think you're in another year where you kind of have maybe projections or a win total that you want to get to. But, at one time there was this kind of idea that like 9 wins is the standard, or it would be embarrassing to go below this. And I think the last 2 years of Frost was certainly like, well, they just kind of need to right the track and maybe get to a bowl game. And I think you're kind of in that similar situation in this upcoming year, and it's just kind of to be quite honest, we all kind of know this. It's just kind of sad for Husker Nation. And, this is a fan base that deserves more than that, and hopefully Matt Rule can get them back to that. But you got to at least have to have a starting point, and so we'll kind of see what happens, what goes from there. I did notice a few different websites, Husker Online and 24/7 both had their top Huskers, and one was most indispensable Huskers. One was just kind of the top Huskers for the upcoming year. And just looking at their top fives, if you want their whole list, you can go and go out to those separate websites. But I thought it was interesting, and I'll get to the list here in a second. But I thought it was interesting just to break it for you. Number one is Jeff Sims on both lists. Would you agree?
Well, indispensable, right?
Yeah.
If that's the benchmark that you're looking at, or the parameters. I mean, obviously, I think quarterback's going to be rated pretty highly. I think it's also going to be rated highly when you have a quarterback group that is pretty thin on both experience and thin on trust at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Nebraska loses Casey Thompson, who was their starter for the season last year. And the times that Chuba Purdy or Logan Smothers, for that matter, and Logan Smothers has moved on, in Nebraska kind of did not look good. They didn't look good, right? So when you look ahead at this season, if Jeff Sims goes down, I'm not sure how a lot of Husker fans feel about Jeff Sims right now. I don't know if Nebraska fans really know what to expect from Jeff Sims, understandably so. However, Nebraska fans are aware of kind of where the offensive line has been in recent years and where the pass blocking has been in recent years. So if Jeff Sims goes down, which feels like when you're a Nebraska football fan, that's kind of the inevitable that the quarterback goes down with a little bit of an injury, then it's okay, what's next? Behind Jeff Sims. And it's the guy in Chuba Purdy that struggled immensely last year in his first year. And then it's Jack Wosh, the preferred walk-on, and Heinrich Haarberg, where Heinrich Haarberg's that guy that everybody gets so excited about during the spring, and then in the spring game didn't look very good either.
Darling of the spring, not the spring
right?
game.
And so, and how many times now? I would also point out how many times 2 straight years Heinrich Haarberg's been the talk, one of the key storylines in the spring. Well, if that's the case, why isn't he playing in the fall? So it's one of those things where I think as a Husker fan, you might look at it and say, all right, Jeff Sims, yeah, it's great that he transferred in, but also understanding the guys in Casey Thompson and Logan Smothers that played the most in your room, they're both gone. And not because they had to leave, but because they chose to move on and transfer. And so what does that leave you with? It leaves you with Chuba Purdy, who in a game on the road at Michigan did not look good. Jared Sinek looked better in that game against Michigan than Chuba Purdy did. And Sinek's no longer here, by the way. And so I think there is a cause for concern, which makes Jeff Sims, more than maybe his play, his health, more indispensable than anything.
Well, and that's what I guess what I was kind of getting to with the whole setup of Nebraska hasn't had a good season in quite some time, is that I do think, like you said, most indispensable, and the word that you use, trust there, the trust in those backup quarterbacks. I think that, it's kind of a blank slate, understanding there's kind of a flipping happening of the roster. And so I think the expectations aren't necessarily to win 9 or 10 games this year. But outside of, kind of crazy predictions, I think people can think, this, if Sims stays healthy, that you've got a shot, right? You're going to have a shot in a lot of these games, and maybe they can kind of be, get the upstart program going. And Matt Rule's spoken well on where this team is compared to his previous stops in year one. If Jeff Sims goes down, and you hate to just kind of keep, bringing that up, but if Jeff Sims goes down, what is the ceiling for the team?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that rides on that conversation or that question, because you wonder running back health with running backs and ability to run between tackles, just blocking up front in general, and then defense, right?
Yeah.
Can they generate any pass rush this year? I don't know. Like, okay, so Chuba Purdy statistics. Since we're talking about the quarterback room a little bit, Chuba Purdy statistics last year: played in 5 games, completed just, let's see, in last season, played in more than 5 games. I apologize. Completed 22 of 47 passes for 46% completion rate. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And so I understand that there's a running threat with Chuba Purdy to an extent. Played in 6 games last season, and got sacked 6 times. And so it's not just Chuba Purdy. That's not what I'm trying to get at, but it's also, I think, on the entire team up front. And how many times did Adrian Martinez bail Nebraska out? How many times did Casey Thompson bail Nebraska out? How many times are you going to have to ask Jeff Sims to bail Nebraska out? I think that's maybe some of the concern, and understandably so. But you hope Donovan Raiola can maybe develop that offensive line.
Yeah, and that's a big part of this too. Is hopefully the offense won't be so quarterback dependent, because that's a big part. Casey Thompson obviously going to a passing offense. They didn't have anybody behind him with his arm, his experience. And so that was kind of an extension of what Frost's era was about, which was very quarterback dependent on Adrian Martinez, like you said, to bail him out. And so, they talk about trying to kind of set a foundation and being able to run behind that offensive line in the fourth quarter. I think I have a little bit of hope for this offensive line to get better. With Prohaska and Newelly coming back, I think that there's a pretty good shot there. Ben Scott, a name that is prominent in these top 5 lists. So you've kind of got a bit of a new offensive line peppered in with the guys that you had last year. So that gives you some hope there. But yeah, I mean, I think it just kind of comes down to how quarterback dependent, how, especially in the passing game. And then can you rely at all on your defense? Are you going to play complementary football? Is the 3-3-5 something you could just plug and play quickly, or is it going to take a year, to get it really going, or later in the year? Because, as we go through year one, there are signs throughout it, right? I mean, Bill Callahan's first year, it was pretty, by mid-season, you might know. Like Mike Riley's first year, you knew this thing's not just plug and play. This is going to take a little bit of tearing down to build back up, and maybe that's what Nebraska needs in the long term. But that's what, to me, always was interesting about this Matt Rule hire, was based on his previous stops. You're looking for a program builder, but part of that had been not winning in year one. And does that travel on over with his resume?
Well, I mean, as you guys were talking about during the captain, linebackers, you haven't had a notable name potentially in the last 10, 15 years, right? The last notable name, truly notable, guy, probably Levante David.
He was the last linebacker. The guy that played linebacker here drafted.
Yeah.
That's drafted.
Yeah, because Nate Gary was kind of the hybrid. He's played
Safety,
more.
yeah.
He's played more of linebacker or something that similar role when he was in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, going in here to this season, is it weird of me to say that linebacker could potentially be Nebraska's strongest unit?
I don't
with
know.
with
On
Luke,
defense?
yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire
Just in
team.
general.
Throughout the entire team.
I'd say that. I would say that. I'd like the running back room. I mean,
Okay, so you have Anthony Grant that rushed for 900 and some yards last year.
yeah.
And then what?
Well, Ramir Johnson,
Who did what last year?
Not last year, but over a totality of his career, I think you feel pretty good about.
But once again, then Gabe Irvin.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean,
And
altogether,
then it's Emmett Johnson, Quentin Ives that we
Right.
have no clue about.
well, altogether, you don't have a stellar unit. I mean, the linebacker unit, you can name a few names that have had injury riddled seasons last year, and then there's not a whole lot of depth.
Well, I understand that, but so you have Luke Reimer, who
Yeah.
you feel good about,
Mhm.
Nick Heinrich, okay, as
Yeah.
well, and Jamari Butler.
Yeah.
You have three guys right there, and then a transfer in Chief Borders
Yeah.
and MJ Sherman.
Mhm.
So I think when you maybe you could go with the safeties as well with Miles Farmer and Marquise Buford.
Yeah. Secondary or maybe.
Secondary in general because you have Newsome and Hartzog and whatever happens with Tommy Hill.
Yep.
So I don't know, but it's interesting when we phrase a conversation around that of, man, look at the last 10, 15 years and Nebraska hasn't had a good linebacker, hasn't had a really good position player, insert position player here. And then you look ahead and you go, that might be their best group. And is there a Levante David type on this team? Is there a Randy Gregory type on the defensive line that can generate a pass rush from the edge? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know. But unfortunately, with the guys that we do know that are in the building, they haven't shown that potential quite yet.
And quickly to pay off on what I was talking about. So Oscar Online, the top 40 Huskers. Just interesting to compare top 5 here. So they had Luke Reimer in the top 5. They have Ben Scott. They have Billy Kemp, Quentin Newsome, and Jeff Sims. 24/7 did similar type of list, most indispensable Huskers. So maybe you can kind of change some things there. But similar top 5: Luke Reimer, Ty Robinson in on this one, Billy Kemp, Ben Scott, and Jeff Sims. So what's interesting there, and especially in the 24/7 list, top 3 guys transfer in. Top 5 in the Husker Online list, 3 of those guys are transfers as well, and Ben Scott, Billy Kemp, and Jeff Sims. And I think last year was definitely kind of felt as, okay, this is like the transfer year. We're gonna try to see if we can kind of build this team together. And this year, I think you feel like there's less of that. But when you look at a list like this, it's like, okay, yeah, I mean there's a lot of plug and play transfer guys as well.
Ben Scott, by the way, according to Phil Steele, ranks in the top 12 centers in all of college football. Is I want to say the 11th most draftable center.
Okay.
In the country, which I mean, kind of, I don't know. Now that I say that out loud, it's like grasping at straws. Like, oh, this guy's a draft prospect, right? But that's kind of, I think, where we're at, unfortunately, to a certain extent, because Nebraska hasn't had the Ndamukong Suh, the Randy Gregory, the Levante David. Like, we were sitting there back in 2010 or when Randy Gregory played, and we were saying, oh, there's no way he doesn't come close to Ndamukong Suh. But now we're saying that how guys aren't coming close to Randy Gregory.
Right.
And so it just kind of tells you and it illustrates the way it's fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully Nebraska can get back to that. There is a program that is at that level right now that may view Nebraska as the trap game, or maybe, if it's listed as a trap game, you don't necessarily view it that way. But 24/7 again listed Nebraska as a potential trap game for one opponent this upcoming year. We'll tell you who that is. Rico will jump in studio. That's coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Our team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for a member. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the shuffleboard corner for just $5 and get your first drink on the house. Come on Sundays for open house league all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock. You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. GE Landscape Supply on for more info or 02-467-1627.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated by a rig. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
Absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR, and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit LibertyFirstCU.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms a possibility today with a much cooler day on the way. We'll top out at 75. Northeast winds at around 10 to 15. Partly cloudy tonight, a cool night, with the low dropping down to 54. Back into the upper 70s for highs tomorrow with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. Thanks for joining us on this July 5th edition. Rico jumping in studio, although his name still says Nick here on the.
I am not Nick. Nick got tan.
Yeah, he got a tan. He said he was out toured for his 4th of July. What did you do yesterday? Did you light me off before the storm?
Not before the storm. We weren't really planning because we saw the clouds moving in, and we were staying outside for a second, and it turned from hot to cold like in an instant, and we were like, "Yeah, this isn't good." So we went inside and we watched movies with the kids downstairs for a little bit, and then let up. The kids were asleep, so we went outside and we had 5 fireworks. We lit off 2 or 3 of them, and we'll save the rest for when we're out of town.
Oh, okay.
Where we don't have to worry about the laws of Lincoln.
I was going to say
the governing bodies.
There's going to be a lot of last year's fireworks next year because I don't think a lot of people got to light them off.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of yesterday's fireworks today.
Yeah, it also might just be loud tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be the 5th of July. Happy 5th of July,
yes,
everyone. That's what's
absolutely.
going to happen.
I even, I was outside and so we were doing it, and I even saw, like, we were in a garage, and I heard the cracking of a tree branch. So I got to see a tree branch.
Oh, fun!
That was interesting.
Yeah, is that better than fireworks?
It's different, yeah. I mean, because I was thinking that was the first 4th of July, in at least that I can remember, quite some time, where there was a storm like that. I mean, I hardly ever remember rain.
It was raining sideways.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
That was crazy.
My thought after the rain though was it's kind of good that it rained and that there's still time for people to light up fireworks, because now hopefully, and I hope, I don't know if this happened or not. I said now nothing will catch on fire, so we don't have to worry about fields catching on fire. Hopefully, a house catching on fire. Everything's wet, so hopefully nothing happened like that.
And who knows, with that storm, if it didn't come in, maybe somebody would have a couple less fingers today.
Exactly,
and they have.
Thank goodness for July storms.
That's right. And that was fun. One thing that people do think about 4th of July as well is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Which was postponed. I mean, people were going crazy because they thought it was going to be canceled. Because
well, they said it was canceled.
Yeah, they pretty much were just like, yeah, we're going to cancel it. But like Joey Chestnut wasn't having it, so they're like, well, I guess you have to listen to him. It's like the Michael Jordan of their sport, or LeBron James, depending on where you agree. But there's
depending on who you are.
Yeah, there's no he's the guy.
He's both. He's better.
He's both of them.
He's the Bill Russell of the Nathan because he has the most championships.
That's right. So they did end up doing it. Chestnut ate 62 hot dogs, I believe, in a 10-minute span to win his 16th title. He did not come close to his own world record of 76 hot dogs. That's with buns included.
That is a ridiculous amount of hot dogs.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't eat for like a day or two after, which I totally
bet.
get. I understand that.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of those people that are in like eating competitions, they're not very big, so you just kind of wonder what would happen if I ate 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
I still don't understand how you train for that.
That's right.
Because they're like, oh, we got the training sessions are brutal. Like, well, how do you just eat a bunch? Like, how do you expand your stomach? Do you just eat a bunch of food and then you just sit there and let your stomach expand, and then you just continually eat? Like, I don't know how it works.
I don't either. I someday would look into it, but I'm not interested in eating 76 hot dogs that quickly.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Mickey Sudo won the girls competition, by the way, 39 and a half hot dogs, which I thought, by the way, you can't include half.
You do half a hot dog?
It should be 39.
Yeah, it's 39.
Anyway, she's the top female champion of all time now. She has 9 titles to her names, Nathan's titles. And she also holds the world record for eating 6 hot dogs in 1 minute.
How?
That's insane.
That's got to be right at the start. There's no way you're doing that later. They
Yeah.
slow down significantly.
But either
after that.
way,
well,
like,
you dip. So my
that's
thing
1
is,
for 10 seconds, right?
so my thing is, they like dip the buns in the water
Yeah.
and to
Gross.
be able to swallow it easier. But the water expands it, so then there's less room in your because you eat bread and water, it expands your stomach, so you get full quicker.
Yeah.
So I just if you didn't do that, how many more hot dogs could you eat? Granted, it'd be a lot harder to chew the buns and swallow them if they were dry. So
Oh, but how gross is it to eat? Have you ever tried a wet hot dog in the
I
bun?
have you accidentally if you have whatever's on your plate and something's
Spills,
leaking,
yeah.
so you spill some water and you're like, oh, it's
Gross.
okay, and there's a spot you didn't see and you go to bite it and there's just mush
Yeah.
on the bottom of your tongue. You're like, nope, can't do that.
I
So
don't
they're
have-
just dipping the whole thing and they're just like,
Yeah.
I know that's a gross noise and I apologize
well,
to
that's the
everybody,
noise,
but
yeah.
that's the noise. They just down the bun.
I wonder what the tickets are to get. I mean, if you just walk up there and go there for free, I'm not sure. But as far as events, sporting
Like
events,
front row
that you want to see, yeah,
front row at the Nathan's hot dog eating
how high
competition.
is this one lead? Because you might hear a lot of those gross.
Does
noises
Joey
going on
toss you a hot dog at the end? You get a chestnut hot dog at the end.
Somebody pukes every year, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh, sure.
Yeah.
They've added things. There's the lemonade chugging competition, which I don't remember his name. Something Badlands. He won it last year, which it's like a gallon of lemonade, and they're like, let's see who
man.
can chug it the fast. He downed it last season.
That's like that gallon
Last season, like it's a
last
sport.
season, yeah. Well, it kind of is. I mean, it kind of is. I guess. It's one of those. Competitive eating is a sport.
I mean,
it's competition.
Yes.
I don't know why it would be.
Yes, but again, I don't know how you train.
Yeah. we're gonna have to-
At least
look
other
at that.
for people that and look, I'm not trying to offend anybody. For people that say that cheerleading isn't a sport, at least you train for it. There's training. I don't know how you train for competitive eating. I know they do. I don't know how. I don't. You don't have to be. Do you have to be in great shape to be a competitive eater? Because, like you said, they're not
Yeah.
huge people generally.
Some of them are.
Some of them are very large.
Yeah.
But they're not grotesquely obese people. So I don't know. Joey Chestnut just looks like a regular guy.
Yeah.
You see some of the women who do the competitions, just look like regular women. It's not. I don't know. I don't know how you train. I don't know how you expand your stomach.
I don't know, but I'm sure that the competition in the bathroom could be a sport afterwards. I don't know. We don't know. We don't televise that.
Disgusting. I think they should.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No, that bad.
24/7 lists Nebraska as a potential trap game for one opponent this upcoming year. Who would you think that would be for Nebraska? Do you have to be in a certain level to be a trap game?
I think it's just a group of 5.
Yeah,
but not like a national powerhouse group of 5. So before they moved to the Big 12, not Cincinnati.
right.
Like a Bowling Green would be a trap game.
But Nebraska apparently is good enough to be not good enough, excuse me, to be a trap game for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Well, who do
Michigan's
they
a
have
top 5
after?
team.
Because you can.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I think it depends on if you're not a very good team, even if you are a good team, depending on who's before and after you. So let me hold on. Give me a second. Maryland. Let's say Nebraska played, and this isn't how the schedule goes, but let's say Nebraska played Iowa, Maryland, Wisconsin, or Wisconsin, Maryland, Iowa.
Yeah.
Maryland would be considered a trap game because you get up for Wisconsin, and then you're focused on beating your rival the week after. But it's you
Yeah.
have to take care of Maryland first.
I don't
So
think
I think
Maryland's
it's-
a great example though, because I think Maryland's going to be good this year.
Well, I understand that. I'm just throwing a team out there. I think you
Yeah.
can be a pretty good team. As long as you're not, Alabama's never a trap game for anybody.
No,
Alabama
it can't
is
be
the
a
game.
trap game,
Georgia's
yeah.
not a trap game. But a team like that can be considered a trap game.
So it is kind of sad in just one regard that Nebraska, the national brand it was or is
Now a trap
is
game.
now a trap game.
And not just a game that you get up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think
That's the
Nebraska,
that's what it
Michigan,
is.
that's a helmet game. You're not thinking of that as a trap game. But they listed it as a potential one, which again, we can complain all we want, but we know where Nebraska football is. Michigan before Nebraska plays Rutgers. Afterwards, they play Minnesota. No bye week.
That's not a trap game.
Doesn't feel necessary.
None of those games are a game that Michigan is getting up for.
Which could be the problem.
They're not.
I wouldn't label it a trap
Those
game.
aren't trap games.
Yeah.
The Nebraska's not a trap game. That's just another game.
Michigan's schedule, by the way, if you look through it,
They're getting up more for Nebraska than they are for Rutgers.
Yeah.
Like that's not whoever who
And
did
it's
this?
on the road.
Yeah, who did this?
It's a 24/7 article.
How dare you?
Which, by the way, there's like so many people that work for 24/7 all across the country. But whenever we reference it, we're just like, yeah, 24/7.
Yeah, it's 24/7.
We're like, hey,
How dare you?
yeah,
Entire business.
every person that works there for that one article. But Michigan too, by the way, they're scheduled, and I hope Nebraska gets that win. And we'll talk about it from the Nebraska perspective in a second. Michigan's schedule, I expect them to be 9-0.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green,
Hey, look, Bowling
and
Green. I mentioned
Rutgers,
Bowling Green.
all at home. So Nebraska will be the first road game. So that's hard to be a trap game when it's their first road game for Michigan, September 30th. Then they play at Minnesota. That could be a tough game.
I guess you could consider it a trap game because, like you said, it's their first road game, and they go on the road again. Michigan, Minnesota is a trophy game.
Yeah.
I don't think Michigan's looking at Minnesota like, oh, we need to make sure that we beat them because that'll help us with our, whatever. So you're not going to get, people aren't going to look at the Minnesota-Michigan game and think, Michigan beat Minnesota. That's a really good win on their resume.
But at the same
really
time, again, you're talking about a 4-win team last year, Nebraska, leading into a 9-win team, Minnesota last year.
I mean, yeah.
So, I guess you could have a little bit of an argument there.
But you're facing a 3-4 win team in Rutgers before that.
Right.
And you're facing Bowling Green, UNLV. Like, it's not a trap game. All of those could be considered trap games.
Yeah. But Michigan, anyway, after they play Nebraska, at Minnesota, Indiana at home, at Michigan State. Who knows about rivalry games?
I think that Indiana game is the trap game.
Is a trap game.
That one's the trap game because you got Minnesota, and you're just like, oh, it's Indiana. They won 2 games last season. Whatever. We don't care about them. And then you have your rivalry at Michigan State.
Yeah.
You're not going to focus on Indiana. You're focused on beating the Spartans.
And after Michigan State, they have Purdue. So they finished with
Maryland is a trap
Penn
game.
State, Maryland, your trap game example earlier, and then Michigan. So their last 3 games should be different.
That Maryland game is the trap game.
Penn
Penn State's supposed to be 3rd in the East, whatever. You got to make sure you finish above them. Then you get the Turtles, and then obviously the game, Ohio State, to end the season. If any of the games on this schedule are trap games, it's Indiana and Maryland. Don't give me this Nebraska
So
mess.
Nebraska not going to be the
not a
trap
trap game.
game.
If you ask any Michigan fan, those are the 2 Indiana and Maryland. They don't care.
It's also weird though, and again, transition year, all that. But Nebraska, Michigan, certainly a helmet game. Even like we did a dream scenario with Rashawn, and he still gave Nebraska the loss to Michigan. And that's just where it is. Michigan's like a top 5 program right now. Again, Nebraska first-year head coach, so nobody's going to predict Nebraska to win. But I think that's a little bit interesting because when somebody at least lists them as a trap game, then they see a potential for an upset there.
Yeah,
which at least it's in Memorial Stadium. But nobody's going to predict it. But I of the whole season, that's probably the toughest game on their schedule. So it's hard to predict that a victory, but I find that a little bit interesting because we before the season everybody's gonna say no, there's no way, and then hopefully by that week we can see a way of getting a victory. But I think part of it too is how badly Nebraska beat Michigan last year.
If both teams,
other way around,
yeah, how bad Michigan beat? I was like, Michigan, wait a minute. I think if both teams go into this undefeated, and that's. Look, it's not taking anything away from Nebraska, but that's going to be a big task for Nebraska to go into the Michigan game undefeated. Everybody knows the schedule. I don't have to go into it. But if both teams can go into this game undefeated, I think that would be probably the most trap gamey scenario for Michigan because you look at Nebraska and you think, oh, it's our first road game. They always have a big crowd. You saw how excited the crowd was 2 years ago for Michigan when they were here. So I know if Nebraska can somehow manage to be 4-0 going into this game, Michigan will have to do a double take on this one before they start focusing on the Golden Gophers, like you said, who had 9 wins this last season. So I guess in that scenario, it could be considered a trap game, but like you said, nobody's going to be predicting Nebraska. Nobody's going to be predicting Nebraska to win. I would be surprised if they're less than a 2-touchdown underdog. So, I mean, September 30th can't get here soon enough. Grant, we have to get past August 31st first. But.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I obviously get excited every year, but the 2 big games right out of the gate for Nebraska, that's going to be fun. Quickly, the text line 2593 says, "Bach, eat some chickens again." No, I retired. One time I tried to eat 10 McChickens
He's
in a show, I think.
no longer a professional eater.
And that showed me I'm not a professional eater.
I was an intern at that
Were
time.
you?
I
Yeah.
was. I was interning.
Did you have to run and go get the McChickens?
I did not. I
No,
did
that's
not.
good at least.
No, but I saw the aftermath.
Yeah. Talk about needing to dip something in water. Those things were nasty by like a half an hour into it. Drew in Wahoo says, I would assume that if you're a competitive eater, that it would take the enjoyment out of eating regularly.
I don't think so. Also, how much enjoyment do you get from just eating? How many people sit there and just go, man, I love to eat?
A lot of people do. I mean, it's a little nice pick-me-up throughout the day.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know if it'd take...
I don't know if I get enjoyment out of eating. I just,
What about you? Like you go get your favorite meal that you don't.
okay, well, there is that.
Yeah, here and there.
But just the regular eating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. And 25112 says, to me, a trap game is when you think you have it in the bag and don't have to get up for it.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we were saying.
Yeah.
It's a game you're not focusing on because you either had some stiff competition before and you have some the following week, or it's just a game that you're looking at and you're like, that's not, we're going to beat them with our eyes closed.
Yeah. Well, kind of like how Michigan treated, was it Colorado State and Hawaii last year, where they're having an open quarterback competition?
Yeah.
They're not worried about it. They're just like, yeah, we're going to win the game. We're just going to see who's the better quarterback.
You play this game, you played this game. We'll see who gets to start the following week. And I know if you're Colorado State and you're Michigan and Hawaii, you're like, hey, that's not very nice.
I loved that arrogance. I just loved it. It was
maybe Nebraska would get back there one day. Like, we have a quarterback competition. We'll just play these first 2 games with whoever we feel like throwing out there, and we'll see what happens.
Just from the coaching staff, we're obviously going to win.
You know how cocky you have to be to announce that?
Yeah.
Like, not even just have that happen in a game and then afterwards be like, yeah, this is what we did and this is why we did it. Like, they were like, no, this is how it's going to happen. You play this game.
Well known.
And they're like, Hawaii, you're going to face J.J. McCarthy. So here we go. Let's figure it out.
Oh, man. Jim Harbaugh's kind of cool sometimes. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Nick will jump back in studio. We'll get the crossover in before happy hour. Coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
The Nebraska Lottery presents one beautiful crazy scratch ticket and promotion. It's the $5 Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket with a $50,000 top prize. Enter non-winning Luke Combs scratch tickets for an opportunity to win a trip to Nashville, a private concert with Luke at the Ryman Auditorium, and a chance at $500,000. The Living Lucky with Luke Combs concert experience will hit you like a hurricane. Details at nelottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Morlock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Rashawn Jackson here for Power Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go be great.
Attention all Wings fans. 89 cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms a possibility today with a much cooler day on the way. We'll top out at 75. Northeast winds of around 10 to 15. Partly cloudy tonight, cool night, with the low dropping down to 54. Back into the upper 70s for highs tomorrow with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. I'm meteorologist Tim Ryan for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler for one final segment before we get you ready for happy hour. I've got a few questions to pose to the guys here in a second. We can run down some of the goings on in college football notes before we get to those, though. So, kind of an interesting dilemma going on over there with San Diego State. Mount Plain San Diego State has left the conference and owes exit fees, but San Diego State disagrees. San Diego State sent a letter to the Mountain West letting them know of their intentions to send a letter to the Mountain West to leave the conference. So there's a bit of a discrepancy over whether that letter was actually telling the conference they want to leave or telling them that they might send them a letter that they will leave. The Pac-12 is not expanding with San Diego State. I think that the talks were serious enough there that that's why this letter was put out there. So now Mountain West, I don't know what's going to happen with San Diego State because Mountain West either wants the exit fee money. I don't know if they'll let them back in their conference. It's very strange.
So are they going to still play this season as a member of the Mountain West, or are they going to leave? Because I thought the letter was just informing them that they were planning on leaving.
That's what San Diego State says.
Not that they were like, hey, we're, starting now, we're done with you.
Yeah.
Because that would have been ridiculous, right? That would have been stupid, right?
They didn't have any formal invitations to go to any other conference.
Right.
So they would have just been like kind of sitting out there in the wind, just hoping somebody picks them up. And probably like the dream scenario for San Diego State would probably be that the Pac-12 picks them up. But until the Pac-12 loses a couple more schools, they're not going to be that desperate.
Well, and usually, as we know, all these teams transfer. Nebraska went through it themselves. Is you're usually going to have that year or two where you sit in your old conference and you wait for an official date. So I think that they're safe to play in the Mountain West, but I think the Mountain West is going to want their money because they say that was a letter of an intention to leave.
So to say but still, so San Diego State, I'm guessing, is just going to play this last season in the Mountain West as a member of the Mountain West, probably still with the patches and the stuff on the field, and then after this season, they're just going to have to figure it out. They'll go independent.
They might just be independent.
Yeah, which makes me always wonder, like, financially, how the schools that are independent make their money. Like, obviously, they go travel to, like for example, like a BYU would always have some decent home games, but like, if San Diego State was to go independent, right, they're going to have to travel to, USC. They're going to have to schedule road games.
Well, if UFC takes them. Because
Well,
they're going to have,
exactly.
Because you're going to have your non-con schedule. Do you want to take a
Yeah.
San Diego State?
Well,
Because
that's
who's
the thing.
not a pushover, but they're not a national brand.
Well, it's not a Nebraska type brand. So I don't know, guys. They're gonna have to travel to somewhere that will pay them $1 million or $750,000 just to try to keep their football program afloat. Which San Diego State's football program is not like a joke. It's a good football. It's a good football. They're always kind of in the heart of the Mountain West conversation. And then they're always one of those bowl games that gets played in late December that you turn on. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take San Diego State in this one, and you find yourself watching it.
I will watch
on
the
a
Aztecs.
on a random Thursday night. On a random Thursday night in December, you're always like, okay, yeah, like what bowl game's on right now? Oh, the Gasparilla Bowl, San Diego State. Yeah,
They'll have a player or two that get drafted. And you're just like, oh yeah, I know you went to San Diego State. Oh, that's cool.
Brady Hoke's the head coach there.
Is he?
Who can dislike Brady Hoke? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of Michigan fans. I probably would assume.
Well,
that
Do you think Michigan?
dislike-
Do you think Michigan wants to schedule San Diego State? If San Diego State reaches out to Michigan, it's like, hey, we're not in the Mountain West anymore. We need teams to play. Would you like to? Can we play you? Can we travel up there? Or can you?
I wish teams would
If
do
you're
it, yeah.
okay, if you're Michigan and maybe the Big Ten decides, we'll do a little SEC type thing. You get a non-con game in the middle of your November schedule. You think Michigan travels to San Diego State?
They travel there.
They don't need to travel.
Yeah, but what do you want? Do you want to go enjoy the San Diego weather in mid to early November?
You can, in a certain extent, if you get dealt USC or
Oh,
UCLA
yeah.
on the road.
There is that.
Well,
There is that.
I think too, Michigan is at a point. We talked about their arrogance last year, where it wouldn't be like, well, how bad would it look if Brady Hoke beat us? They're not going to beat you. So yeah, you can go do it.
But what if they did? Yeah, I know. We were talking about the Michigan. That's a trap game.
That's the thing. No, that's the thing. You guys were talking about like the cockiness of Michigan and stuff.
It's the arrogance, but it's cool.
Austin and I were saying it's not cocky if you go out and whoop some butt.
No,
If
after you do it,
if you absolutely back it up with separate quarterbacks,
Oh, it's
right?
still- it's still
It was
cocky.
like, hey, Cade's gonna play this game, and then no matter how bad or good Cade plays, we're gonna play JJ
JJ's probably
McCarthy
the
this
next
next game. And you knew, like, the writing was on the wall that, all right, after that JJ McCarthy game,
It's
they're going
JJ.
to go full JJ McCarthy. Like, they schedule a game against Hawaii, and you're just like, the spread is 55, and they go out and cover the spread.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that. Because we picked the spreads on our show, Rico.
And we were sitting
and
there
we were
like, 55 is a
50
lot.
55 and a half for a
Was it
spread.
really?
I
Yeah,
think it was.
it was in the 50s, and because me and him were talking about it, we're like, that's a lot, even for a Hawaii team. It's
Yeah.
not that great. Like
It'd be
Michigan's gonna,
50, 60
they were like,
three, that's
Michigan's
about
gonna
as
have
good
to
as you
score.
get
We're like, Hawaii will sneak a touchdown at the end once they have like the backups in or something like that. They won't cover the 55, and then they ended up covering it, and it was ridiculous.
So Michigan beat Hawaii 56-10. The first two games that Michigan played last year were the two games obviously that they switched quarterbacks. The spreads were just astronomically high because you sat there and you were like, how are these guys? I'm pulling up their schedule right now.
It's because we had faith in Michigan's defense, but their offense, again, because they were switching quarterbacks, we're like, I don't know how great it's going to be.
Yeah, so get this. That's right. So their non-conference games last year were Colorado State at home that they won 51-7. All right, that game was wrong button. Anyway, then it was a 56-10 win against the Hawaii Warriors.
Yeah, they're not the Rainbow Warriors. Just
The Hawaii Warriors, 56-10.
Oh, the Rainbow Warriors is a lot cooler.
And then on September 17th, their third non-conference game was at home against the Connecticut Huskies. And they won 59-0 for that game. And I want to try to figure out, find the spreads for each of those games.
You know what? EJ Barthel has some experience facing Michigan.
That's right.
He knows what he can tell his running backs to do and not to do.
Maybe it was the Connecticut game that
Can
was.
you learn a lot losing 59-0?
Maybe.
Well, as a running backs coach, you know, because you're probably not running the ball very much.
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't think so. I don't know,
You don't want
something
to
like
play again. I don't know.
that. Yeah, like, hey, let's not do that.
Yeah. How much money do we make on that one? That's
Yeah.
we're gonna need a little bit more.
But
than coming back
it's still so. Even if you do go out there and still take care of business, it's still cocky. It's extremely
Yeah.
cocky and arrogant. But the fact is, it doesn't matter what people say about you because you won the game and you did exactly what you thought you were going to do.
So the spread for the Connecticut game was 47.5.
Yep.
And they covered it 59-0
Easily.
in that
Easily.
one. Gosh dang it, we're out of time here.
We can talk
Hawaii.
about it to start the happy hour.
Hold on. I'm gonna be able to get this quick.
Can
here.
he get it? He has 20 seconds.
The Michigan Hawaii spread was 53.
There it is.
And they did not cover it. They only won by 46.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Good job, boy.
The worst.
I don't know what the Colorado State one was. We don't have time.
Doesn't
for that.
matter.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the Ticket Water Cooler Happy Hour coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals and the Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate. Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the shuffleboard corner for just $5 and get your first drink on the house. Come on Sundays for open house league all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
The wait is almost over. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show is the hottest event in the area. Coming to Lincoln's Air Park on Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. Elevate your air show experience with tickets to the premium seating tent, padded seats, meals, and more for just $125. Premium tickets are going fast, so buy yours today. To purchase premium tickets and for more information, visit LincolnAirShow.com. We'll see you at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show in late August.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career.